Hi, good morning. The date is February 7th. I'm just going to do a little quick minute video. I'm not one of those podcaster people or anything like that. I'm just wanting to share a little information to you because I hear these podcasts sometimes when I'm in a car, I'm a photographer, and sometimes I have to drive to the other part of the city. And instead of playing my good 80s jam on the Siri there, on the Sirius, I say, hey, I'm going to just listen to a podcast. So I want to be pretty educated on what I'm promoting, what I'm even talking about. And obviously, you guys know by now, I'm talking about glutathione, right? And so I have to learn and be a service. And it's not that I'm trying to sell, like do an infomercial, like on infomercial TV and that. I just really, the more I learn about this, the more sold I am, the more I want to share the message, share the good word of glutathione and all that. And as you guys have heard in my other videos, glutathione is the big guns. It's the big guns. It's the big antioxidant. Like we have other antioxidants out there in our body that are natural or whatever, right? But this glutathione is the big dog, right? So the information I'm sharing today is taken from the podcast that I was listening to. It's from a Naturally Nourished podcast by Ellie Miller. I'll post a link behind me. So I'm just going to read a couple of things of the stuff that I learned on here, and I was driving along like, oh wow, that's awesome. That's awesome, right? And so like the glutathione, a couple of things, like whether it's reducing inflammation, being and antioxidants, working with all our other blood cells in our body, and aids in mental toxicity, right? Whatever, right? So anyways, I just wanted to share a couple of factors about from this article that I want to take away and I want to share with you. It's like one of the question was, what can it do to the body? And what they were saying in the article was scavenging free radicals, neutralize harmful toxins. So what does this do, right? So it reduces cellular damage, she says, and protects cell integrity, and goes on to talk about immune response. Are you still with me? Because it's pretty boring sometimes, right? But it assists with lower antioxidants, like the support system, like I was telling before, it's the big guns, whatever. So it's helping vitamin E, vitamin D, like when people say take vitamin C, well, the glutathione, that's calling in the big boys, right? This glutathione helps with neurological health, cardiovascular health, and it takes out mercury, with all our foods. A lot of stuff from the sea, the salmon that we all love, taking in a lot of mercury in our body, right? And supports the liver toxicity, T cells, helps with memory. So one of the things that they were talking about in this article on this podcast, which is really easy listening, and I recommend starting about 13 minutes, avoid all the stuff, and listen to it about 10 minutes and then shut it off, because they promote other products, which is the product that I recommend, which is Numi. But let's take a second out for Numi. Have you took your Numi today? I think it's time to take my Numi. So I take my Numi skin and I just spray it on my face, work on that neck muscles, and that's easy. Now it's just going to work on there. Okay, back to this, to what I'm talking about here, right? And so what would indicate that you have lower glutamine? Did I say glutamine? Glutathione, Ricky. Okay. One of the factors that they said, not me, in their article was free radical overload, liver enzymes, chronic fatigues, body aches, macular degeneration. Yesterday I did this short video on my Facebook and I couldn't pronounce macular degeneration. I kind of screwed up on that, right? Damage in the arteries, in the heart, in the lungs, and impaired immune function, cognitive and memory problems, arthritis, inflammatories, brain fog. A lot of us had the brain fog after the COVID, right? And so maybe the glutathione levels are down. Who knows how that works? But that just said brain fog. Who is the most risk of having a reduced glutathione levels? Those people who have diet, low sulfate industrial oils, those oils that we put in our cookings, using the oils that aren't good for us. People who have diabetes, cancer, chronic stress. She talks, if you listen to it, about athletes, they have a lot of muscle pain, and so they're being very stressful in their bodies, always ripping up those muscles, ripping them up, and they're not doing anything wrong. All she's saying is that it lowers the glutathione, I guess, and bowel issues, irritable gut distress, all that stuff, generalized aging, alcohol, smoking, and the other toxins that there are out there. Medications, like chemo and Tylenol, acetaminophen, right? So before I came on, my eyes get irritated, I don't know, by the dryness, by the oils. And I got this stuff called HydraSense for dry eyes. And it's preservative free, right? So it has these bad toxins that a lot of that oils that you put into your eyes. When I went to Costco, the pharmacist recommended it, and it feels so good on my dry eyes here, right? So I like to promote this stuff to people who really want to help their health, right? This Numi company, which is the vehicle for glutathione. This morning I like to make healthy choices myself. This morning I made a slow cooker lentil recipe, right? And it's so easy. All I do is like cook the lentils that my friend from Saskatchewan brought me, and like pre-cook those for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then throw it into the slow cooker with some chickpeas, black beans, bush vegetarian beans, right? Some sauteed celery, sauteed garlic, some pepper, some Rotel tomato sauce, throw in some taco seasoning, take the ketchup and a little bit of barbecue sauce, and some whatever spices, your cake spice and whatever you want to put in there. And it's a good wholesome meal. I'm not vegetarian, but it is a vegetarian dish, so I'm not going to get this animal fat, which is going to add to putting toxins in my body. So I like to eat healthy like that, and it makes lots and lots of meals. And the price of groceries, it's out of this world. So when you cook like that, you're cooking cheap and you're giving your body the proper food, right? It's not beating the crap out of it, right? Anyways, that's my story. And I just had a few minutes to do this, sharing information with you. And sorry I slaughtered her podcast, but that was the basic information. And I do have to go to a job here at 12 o'clock. So I'm glad I got to do this. Be brave enough. It's getting easier. And again, I'm not trying to be anybody. I'm not trying to be a podcast person or anything like that. I just here because I want to share information. I want to help. If you have any of those health problems, maybe check it out. And you're not obligated. And the bottle's only $50 a bottle. Try it out. Try one of each, or just try the blue swishing, swish it, put it in your mouth and swish for 30 seconds and swallow it. It's in your body in 30 seconds, right? You don't have to do it intravenous and spend $100. If your skin, you don't have to go to your local clinic and pay $900 for whatever you have to get done there to look nice and young like me. Just kidding. But do what works for you. And call me below here, 780-266-5736. Actually text, because I get so much garbage calls that I don't even answer. Okay, and I will hook you up. Thanks. Have a good Tuesday.